and his tooth like falls out.
Because my hand got injured and I ended up in the ER that night.
Ah, coordination. Something we all wish we had.
I did a fight scene a few weeks ago and twisted my knee on a mat.
This includes the cast of Cobra Kai. As it turns out, most of them are a little bit klutzy and injure themselves or their co-stars. Let's check out who took the worst blows in the show. Number 1. In a karate show, this is probably the least surprising injury.
Now this was a wild day for me and Peyton.
Mary Mouser injured her hand so bad, blocking a kick, she wound up in the ER. She's never one to go halfway with something. She was warned by Peyton List's stunt double, Janelle, not to use all of her force. She really didn't need to give much with this stunt with her hands or she'd get hurt. She just needed to sell it when she pulled back.
I ignore everything Janelle told me.
And gave it your all.
I gave it my all.
She returned to set the very next day, all bandaged up and ready to film this fight. Turns out, she wound up hyperextending her tendons, and after filming wrapped, she had to go for physical therapy.
You can see certain shots where my fingers are like taped together and I'm like throwing punches with them.
Number 2. Sure, karate's fun, but wouldn't you rather just enjoy a nice day of bird watching? The pain Macchio and Zabka are dealing with has to be because of their age. They bruise easier than they used to. Billy Zabka says Macchio's blocks feel like taking a baseball bat to the arms. So, with age comes responsibility. Everything feels more connected than it used to. If you do a kick, you feel it in your neck. So now they really take their warm-up seriously, lest they feel it all much more intensely later. It's also different filming for TV rather than a movie.
And a little bit of overworking, but I am standing strong.
As often they find themselves on a time crunch, so they don't even get half as much time to rehearse their blocking. Perhaps that's the reason why there's so many injuries on set. And it's so common that the two hurt each other that they call it getting Macchio'd or Zabka'd. Number 3. Can two-for flinching please be outlawed? The funniest on this list has to be how Jacob Bertrand was injured by Xolo Maridueña. This one wasn't even during filming. It was totally just a prank Xolo was trying to play. He really wanted to make Jacob flinch. Remember a time when kids thought scaring each other was fun? Yeah, we don't miss it either. Xolo proved to us exactly why it's okay to flinch. Because if you don't, you could end up punched in the face. Instincts are a good thing, lest you want blood streaming out of your nose. Number 4. Maybe braces should come with little tiny shields. This is probably the most disturbing on the list. It hurts even thinking about it. Xolo Maridueña admits that while most of the injuries on set are either hands being stepped on or being kicked or punched, he was the first to be injured pretty bad. Xolo received an accidental kick to the face by Tanner Buchanan.
Robbie.
What makes it so gruesome is that he had braces at the time, and the wire went right through his cheek. It gets even crazier though because Xolo didn't even notice. There was blood dripping down his face and he couldn't tell. Are you cringing right now? At least he couldn't feel it. He said the part that hurt worse was having the wire pulled back through his cheek. Maybe there's still a visible scar. Number 5. A toe jam pun will be avoided, but that is exactly what happened here. Secrecy on set about injuries is a big no-no. For you aspiring actor/karate warriors watching, take your health seriously. Billy Zabka is pretty sure he pulled a hamstring when his kick came in contact with Martin Kove's buff foot. But that was the mild side of the story. He jammed it. He broke it. His toe went up into his foot. At least, that's what could be gathered from what he said. The stunt guy was ready to take his place, but Billy pulled whatever was lodged up his foot out. Presumably the toe bone? He says it felt akin to being knifed in the foot.
Oh, wait. Here.
Number 6. She tells the story with such gusto, we're led to believe she enjoys causing pain.
Is anyone here?
Courtney Hengler was on the very last take of her scene with Martin Kove. Whether it be the end of a long day or what, who knows? But she got a bit reckless that last time around.
And then they're like, great, Courtney, let's do one more. And I did, and I hit him in the face.
It was her one stunt, and she messed it up. But you know what? You keep going. You keep acting.
Because if you stop, then not only have you just hurt somebody, but then you ruined the shot.
That way, the slap wasn't for nothing. Her reaction, as she described it, is priceless too. In the moment, she's telling herself,
"Don't make a face."
She was half successful, because this was the look she gave.
Just to keep going.
Number 7, klutzes. Klutzes everywhere. Mary Mouser always finds herself covered in bruises after working on Cobra Kai. But she admits that's due to her own clumsiness. She's not the only one though, as Xolo also admits to being a huge klutz. Number 8. Poor stunt doubles receive way too many blows to the head. While we're sure the stunt doubles got injured way more than once on this show, sadly, they're not the ones who get the spotlight. But we did hear about this one just because of how odd it was.
We throw him on the ground and his face actually hits the ground.
The poor guy really whacked his head, but by the sounds of it, was fine. But he's not a noob in the world of stunt doubling and has lost some teeth in the past. So can you anticipate what happened? His false tooth actually fell out when he made impact with the floor. So everybody went on a hunt for it. Hey Tooth Fairy, quit encroaching on the Easter Bunny's tradition and find your own thing. Don't worry, eventually somebody found it. Number 9. Imagine walking in for your run-of-the-mill work interview and being tested on how well you know karate. That's how surprised Peyton List was when she found out she had to do it for an audition. She straight up admitted that when she went for her audition, she had no idea she'd be doing any fighting in this show. During the audition, she was given 45 minutes to rehearse a fight sequence, and for somebody who's never fought before, she sure picked it up quick because it got her the role. She's never sustained too many injuries, but she has owned the fact that bruises are going to happen. You'll get them, you'll give them, and you can't feel bad about it. Number 10. Today, the world is telling you to just stay in bed. Mary Mouser injured herself the second she stepped out of bed.
I thought I was ready.
Do you remember that nursery rhyme about the guy who went to bed and injured himself? It would have been a good day for Mary Mouser to just stay in bed, because she experienced a stress strain on her ankle and had to go film through the pain. This was the second injury she had to receive physical therapy for after the show wrapped. Number 11, and you get an injury, and you get an injury, and you get an injury. Tanner Buchanan spent most of a season with a pulled hamstring.
We took it in stride and did our best to keep fighting.
Both he and Mary Mouser were dealing with injuries for quite a long time. And if you know anything about injuries, you can't just work through the pain. Yikes.
I did what I had to do.
Being part of a show like Cobra Kai might just be worth the pain for those awesome story arcs the actors are handed. Which injury made you cringe the most? Think there are more inevitable ones along the way? Let us know in the comments, and thanks for watching.